Hey guys, Lauren Simpson here and Hattie Boydle. Today we are going to be taking you guys through one of our glutes and hammies workouts.
We are 7 weeks out from the WBFF World titles. I am coming back for that title.
And I'm going to be defending the crown, so we are super pumped and we're going to take you through one of our workouts. So let's go.
Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do is a triple contraction barbell hip thrust. So what that is full hip extension at the top, then we have 3/4 movements at the top before coming all the way back down. So we're working really hard in that top range for most of the exercise, and it's a damn big burner.
Yeah, the top range is where you're going to feel most of that contraction, is where your glutes are actually doing the most of the work, and then we're focusing also on a slow eccentric phase with this one, and then power up to the quarter reps and then a slow eccentric. So we're going to also use a band as well for added resistance around our knees. So yeah,
keeping our knees out, so getting that abduction work, making sure we're working super hard throughout the whole lift. Lauren's got 100 kilos on the bar, so we're still warming up. Foot stance is optional, so it's based on what you prefer, where you feel your glutes the most. Even placing of the band can go below or above the knees. So Lauren likes to have it above her knees. Lauren's going to drive her hips up, squeeze at the top, so hit full hip extension, and then it's 3 powerful pulses. 2, so she's fast, and then slow on the way down. Then she drives up fast. Contraction fast, 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 and then slow on the way down. So she's using different tempos and working really hard in that top range where she's going to get the most glute contraction, the most glute work happening at the top. Also see Lauren keeps her chin down. Okay, so you want to be following your eyes want to be following the bar, following your hips as you go.
1, 2. Okay, so the next superset we're going to work into is going to be focused on glutes and hammies. So we're going to be doing a reverse hyper, so using the machine for this, into a Nordic drop, and we've also got a machine here for this, so we'll show you how that's done.
So we're going to superset these two together, which I think is going to be a really nice superset. Before we go into the Nordics though, we're going to warm up our hamstrings on a lying hamstring curl before we get into that crazy exercise. Love the strength curve of this machine.
I know, it gets such like a good pull here. We look like such rookies. We've never trained at the gym before at this rate. So guys, this is a Nordic drop that Hattie is performing, so really engaging our hamstring muscles as we're coming down. We are focusing on the negatives here, so really slow, 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 and then driving with our heels against here, and to bring weight back up. Good. So squeezing everything on the way up. You'll see Hattie's glutes contracting, her hammies, and pulling herself back up.
It's a good one. Here we've got a reverse hyper. So you can see it's very glute dominant. Lauren's going to be using her glutes to kick back in that position, and she really wants to be driving her heels up so that she's getting full hip extension at the top. So really getting those heels as high as she can, squeezing at the top, so you can really see her glutes working hard here. She gets a beautiful stretch actually through the hamstring and lower glute, and then full contraction of the glute max at the top.
You see Hattie's glutes really squeezing up here, lengthening, and then that squeeze at the top. I usually like to pause just for a split second at the top, just to really get those glutes engaging. Squeeze. Yeah.
We're doing a lighter weight for her last set. She's nice and warm. She's neurally aroused. She's got the technique down pat. So she's actually moving even better, using her hamstrings even more on her final set. So she's going to push it here. It's going to be tough, but she's in a really, really, really good position.
Okay, so we're going to be going into another glute and hamstring superset. So with this one, we're going to be using the same machine, a lying leg curl machine. So we're going to be doing hamstring curl as our first exercise, and then straight into a hip extension.
On the hamstring curl.
We're going to be doing this. So this is probably a new exercise for a lot of you guys watching this, but we'll demonstrate how to do it. Hattie does this a lot in her training.
I love it. Nothing gives me a glute pump like either the lying hamstring curl hip extension, or using a leg extension, so as a hip extension. So people kind of look at you funny because you're trying to get in and put your hips here to do a hip extension, but you don't know a glute pump till you give this one a go. So I really like this one for high rep, even staggered deadlifts, quarter methods. And it's so easy. If you've got a really busy busy gym and you want to hit your hammies and your glutes, doing these two back to back is an amazing combination. So give it a go.
A little bit awkward to get into, but so position yourself under here. So it'll be a full lockout. Bring your feet in as you would be normally doing a hip thrust. As we were saying before, chin tucked, locked on tight here, down, up.
Something I love about this machine is it has a different strength curve to a barbell hip thrust. So that means that because this is a cable based, and the way it comes down, you can see it actually goes into like a semicircle. So this is almost like more of a thrust sometimes, and the hip thrust with a barbell is more like a hip extension. So there's a slightly different movement of the pelvis. You can see she's really tucking under and shortening the distance between her pelvis and her rib cage, so her abs are locked on. How's that?
Yeah. Burner. So with the leg extension, we're going to be doing the triple contraction method again. So this will be the small quarters. We'll do 3 small quarters at the top range before then lowering it back down. So we're shooting for about 6 to 8 reps of this. Good. Up. 1. 1, 2, 3. Up. 1, 2, 3. Up, 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 up. Woo. Woo. So the quarters are done in the bottom range of this one, as opposed to hip thrust when we're doing the quarters in the top range.
For our second last exercise, we're going to do it as a single set, so on its own, and we are going to perform a staggered deadlift variation on the hammer strength. So I love the staggered deadlift. I feel like not only can you lift a little bit heavier in that weight, but I actually love the position of both of the legs in this exercise. So you've got one leg that's slightly straight, the other leg that's quite bent. So it is, you can see Lauren, she has a staggered position with her legs. And it really gets the glutes and hamstrings working, which is why we chose this exercise to finish with, because we really want to make sure that we're hitting glutes and hammies today. It's a beautiful, beautiful exercise for that. So give this one a go in your workout. You'll probably see actually that Lauren and I perform a staggered deadlift a little different. We've got different lengths of limbs. And it's really important that you find a stance that really works best for you. If you're feeling it a lot in your lower back, I would change your position. You can see she's got a beautiful neutral spine. We will all have a neutral spine. She's breaking at the hips. She's also lengthening through her hamstrings and glutes, and then she's driving her hips forward at the top. And actually, she's keeping tension at the top here. She's not coming all the way up.
Out.
So she's not locking out at the top.
Yeah. So you'll see a difference. Hattie's got quite a close stance when she does this one as well.
Show your stance. Yeah, I think I feel it more. Well, if I go closer, I feel it in my left and right side. So whereas if I go longer, I'll feel it in the leg that's in the front.
Yeah.
The most.
Okay, so for everyone who knows Hattie and I will know that we do love our glute finishes, our glute burnouts at the end of our sessions. So we're going to take you through one of these pyramid sets. It is going to just be one big giant set to really get your glutes on fire at the end. So Hattie will explain what we're doing.
Okay, this should hurt. So, and if I can get through this, then I am Wonder Woman. We're going to do double banded hip thrust. So, and we're going to go 30 reps, 30 hip extension, up the top, 30 abduction, then into 20 abduction, and then 10 hip extensions, 10 abductions. So we're actually dropping as we fatigue, and I should not be able to get almost to like the last 10. It should be really awful. So I've never done this before, so I'm just going to give it a crack. This is a one-off.
Halfway.
Sometimes the day after you look even.
I look the worst on show day the whole week.
Good girl, bad girl, good girl, bad girl.
Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes,
Always
no.
yes.
Yes, 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 yes.
So I hope you liked seeing our workout, guys. If you give it a go, please do leave a comment below and let us know if you do like it, especially with that glute finisher. But we thought we would just end this video on a quick little wrap up and a little talk about our prep, because as we said, we're both 7 weeks out. Now I do the bikini category for WBFF and Hattie does fitness. So a little bit different with the categories and what we do. But so for my prep at the moment, in terms of my diet, I have only just started dieting down. I am about 2.5 weeks of my diet in.
She diets for 8 weeks. What is that? What is that?
So for me, I kind of need to come in a little bit fuller for the bikini category. So that means I don't need to get as lean as someone like Hattie does. So they need to diet down a little bit harder. A little bit longer.
She also didn't start it with as much body fat, so that's why I needed to come in, start mine early.
In terms of our dieting approach, we do have obviously similarities. We both do kind of like a flexible dieting approach. So that means like we're aware of our protein, fat and carb intake, and we do hit those numbers. For me, I'm dieting now on around 1900 calories. I eat pretty similar foods every day, but of course can change it up if I want to. I eat consistently the same calories, so I don't do any high or low days or anything. So throughout the week, I'll eat the same calories every day. I know for Hattie that's a little bit different.
Yeah, so I have different calorie and macro splits that goes throughout the week. So Tuesday, Thursday, Sundays, a similar macro split, similar calorie intake, and then for my bigger workout days where I hit glutes or lower body, they are my higher calorie days, and the calories will range anywhere between 1,800 to 2,400 calories. So you can see that we're both on a significant amount of food, which then allows us to have a pretty great output in our training.
Yeah.
We don't drop strength. We hit some pretty big numbers, big compound movements.
That's something I think that is really core to both of our training, even though like I'm in bikini and she's in fitness, like we're both a whole prep, we're still like really focusing on our strength and our performance in the gym. We're not just slackening off in the gym just because our calories are dropping. We're still trying to push ourselves every single session right up until we get close. So in terms of training, we probably do pretty similar things as well. Like I'm currently training 3 days lower body, 3 days upper body. For me personally, I don't really need much more upper body mass, so not really doing too much volume on my shoulders, so my sessions are a little bit shorter, hitting abs on my upper body days. But of course for me, my lower body is an area where I do need to work on, so lots of glutes and quads in particular for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty similar to Lauren. I hit my legs 3 times, sometimes 4 times a week. Upper body is only twice a week. I don't want to have a bigger upper body than what I have. I really want to be lower body dominant, and I can grow pretty quickly. So just monitoring how much volume I do there, and also not adding too much progressive overload on my upper body, actually just continuing to refine technique, mind to muscle connection, and tailoring it each week depending on how I'm looking and how my measurements are going. But the lower body, absolutely giving it a crack always.
We love our glute training.
We love our glute training, and maybe the 2 weeks out we might feel a little dusty, but that's
all part of it.
That's all part of it. And the roller coaster of prep is a ride, but it's a great ride to be on. So it's been a really good prep actually.
And what about cardio? Are you doing cardio at the moment?
Yep, I've got cardio in 4 days a week. And I also do a circuit class on Saturdays, which I absolutely love. So, and that's kind of a mixture of sleds, deadlifts, weighted skipping ropes, the rower, air dyne, skill mill.
Everything I hate.
All of the awesome things. And plyos, so a really nice variation, which is nice because
it keeps it
interesting.
Fun.
And it's sometimes you can overuse a movement pattern. I'm going to throw out hip thrusts as well, like doing them a lot. Obviously they're a really great booty building exercise, but sometimes it can get a little stale, so it's actually nice to do something different.
Yeah. I think that's a bit different too. I don't really do much cardio in my preps. As I said before, I need to come in a little bit fuller. I can get lean really quick just through manipulating my diet alone. I do track my steps though, and that is something that is periodized over my prep. So like I started out doing 8,000, and probably closer to my show I'll end up doing like 14,000 a day, 16,000 a day. So that's something for me. I'm at around 13,000 steps at the moment. But as I said, we'll see how my body's looking as well. If I need to do cardio, then that can be something that is implemented down the track.
And how would you break that up, just for the viewers out there? Do you do it just in one hit, 16,000, or do you go like do you break it up into lots throughout the day?
So I'm finding that having to do 13,000 steps, I work from home, I work on the laptop, so my actual activity isn't very high. So I do need to now go out for a walk. So I'll usually either try and start my day with a walk or do one in the afternoon and knock out about 10,000 steps on a walk, which is like an hour and a half of walking. So yeah, I'll try and get that done, and then just try and keep as active as I can at the moment to get in those steps. But I don't just try and get out the whole lot in one go.
Lauren doesn't like HIIT training. I love HIIT training, so I don't mind incorporating that into my training 6 weeks out from the show. So that's probably what's going to be scheduled in pretty soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Thanks,
that's
guys.
about it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and we might bring you something from the Bahamas when
Yeah.
we're in the Bahamas in the lead up to Worlds, which is only like 7 weeks away. So thanks again for watching, guys.